Here we go again. Good eye, Anthony.
Somebody got to keep up with it.
I'm basically falling apart over here. I can't even do basic, titling the video properly. That would be a smart idea. Hello. Welcome back to the Unframe of Mind show, where we have uncomfortable conversations without a condom. I'm your host, Daniel Wagner.
Anthony Trawick.
We would love to be able to get this show started. We have a pop in, let's go Brandon, Unframe of Mind live, just for the shits and the giggles. And while Anthony works on sharing that post, I just want to update you all. I've got a number of these shirts here. The Let's Go Brandon with the current puppet president sitting in with a dunce cap on. We've got a number of those still available over on the website under the merch tab. If you would like one of those, they're $20 out the door. I'll get them shipped to you ASAP. We ordered a bunch of them for the event, for the Unframe of Mind, or the Let's Go Brandon Freedom Rally, rather, that me and my friend Militia put together with the help of a ton of volunteers. Holy crap, was that a lot of fun and insane. And for about 2 to 3 weeks, I didn't do anything but plan for this thing. And we're going to definitely do some more of it in the future. We're thinking probably next April for the next one. We don't know exactly where just yet, so get your suggestions in now, and we will figure out where the next Let's Go Brandon Freedom Rally is going to take place. It was a lot of fun for those who did show up. We had a hell of a showing out for the folks and the artists that we did have on. A bunch of speakers. I spoke myself and had a friend record it, and it didn't quite work out, unfortunately. His video was just nothing but the audio was terrible. There was no audio at all. So I'll probably go ahead and re-give my speech here on the YouTube channel in the future. I'm not sure exactly. But yeah, if you guys would do us a favor and share the stream. I'm over here feeling like I'm kind of flailing around a little bit, waiting on Anthony.
You are.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Hey, it always takes a second to do all
I know,
this stuff.
I know, you're fine. This is why we usually have that little, pre-screen pop up, the stream starting, this thing here. But we didn't.
Yeah, that's all right. So what's up, homie? How did the event go?
I was just telling everybody how the event went. The event went really well, actually. Yeah. And toward the end of the night, man, the biggest highlight of the night was when that we had a little kid up on stage, like saying all of Bryson Gray's lyrics to his "Let's Go Brandon" song. He was just singing along with him up there, dancing, having a time of his life. His mom was like, "Man, y'all made his day. Like, it was awesome. Like, absolutely
that's
enjoyed
cool.
it."
And for you guys just tuning in, we just had Will on the show.
Hey,
we did an interview with him
talking
about his.
It's none of their business.
Talking about
That's
his.
Nope.
Talking about his new song,
No.
Dear Kyle. So you guys get a chance, check that out. That'll be probably out sometime later this week. That was a great interview that we did with him. What do you keep telling me no for?
Because we haven't even edited the first one.
Oh, no, just giving people an update.
They don't even know we didn't react to the Dear Kyle.
No, they do now.
Well, they do now. Apparently that's coming out.
We did Chris Webby's Raw Thoughts 5, which a lot of people in the comments have been asking us to react to, so we did that one. We did Tom McDonald's Naked, so be on the lookout for that as well.
That'll probably be out before the end of the day.
Yeah. Who else did we react to?
I think that was it for now. We did.
Was that it?
Mm-hmm. We've been busy recording shows today.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've been in studio, man.
It has. Yeah, it's
just chaos lately.
Well, I don't know if it's been chaos. It's just we normally take a break around the holidays anyways. Yep. My schedule at work starts to ramp up, so it's kind of difficult for me to find the time to be able to come in and do these things. We do have a life outside of the studio.
No.
We do have jobs. We have families.
I'm not going to lie. Mine was chaos.
So
for at least 3 weeks, I was basically unreachable. Like,
oh, I know. So,
almost to the point where I kept messaging you saying, I promise I'm not leaving you out of the loop. I just have been so covered up.
So, I mean, we do have a lot of content that we recorded today that's going to be out within the next couple of weeks. So be on the lookout for those. Like I said, Chris Webby's Raw Thoughts 5. We did Dear Kyle by the Marine rapper and Kill Will. And then we did, what was the other one? The interview with
Will
So,
Champlin. Yep.
yeah. So
Yep.
be on the lookout for those. And then, of course, for those of you that have been kind of following us for a little while, those of you that know my situation, I had a cousin of mine that was fighting for his life with COVID for about 2 months, and then on October 26th he lost his life to COVID. So I went out there to see my family out there in Arizona for a couple of days for the holidays. Of course, that was the 1 month, the 1 month since Dennis had passed, and of course the holidays are hard enough as it is, and then you lose your cousin, my aunt's son, to COVID.
I can't believe that came up so fast.
I mean, it was a situation where, it was one day he was doing better, and like the next day he wasn't doing good, and then it was just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
It's a constant battle.
And healthy guy, no medical problems. The doctors just didn't understand it. They didn't understand how someone as healthy as he was did not survive COVID. So
yeah, that's just the part of statistics, man. I mean, you still end up, where they say you have a very slim chance. So something like if you're a healthy 30-year-old or something, middle age or whatever, 20 to 30-year-old healthy, I think it was something like you have a 0.004% chance, like 1 in 250,000. And he just happened to have been one of the unlucky ones that ended up. And I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, it's just you got to move forward. My aunt, she did okay through the holidays, all things considered, and it's hard. It's never easy to lose a loved one, especially when my cousin Dennis was 7 days older than me. So this was kind of a sober reality for me to understand that him and I are both the same age, and
right.
His body wasn't able to withstand COVID. Mine, I had it last Christmas. I was able to get through COVID. So there's just a lot of questions, a lot of medical questions that I felt weren't answered, throughout this whole process with Dennis. Things that just didn't make sense in my opinion. Maybe I just didn't get the full story of what all was going on, only because he lived out in Arizona, and of course I live here in Nashville. So, there's that aspect of the whole situation. But when I talked to my aunt, I still didn't get a good sense of what all went down when he was in the hospital. This was more of a situation where just being there for my aunt, and it's hard. A month before Thanksgiving, he passes, and it's like, what do you do? So the only thing I could think of to do was just fly out there for the holidays. That's what I did.
Just to be
Just
there.
to be there.
Absolutely.
Sometimes being there is better than not being there at all. And it's just a comforting thing, I guess you can say.
So just Dawn in the comments says, "So sorry, I lost my dad last November." Sorry to hear that, man. That's man, I mean that's just the thing. We don't know enough about this, and it doesn't help that the media is constantly feeding us full of disinformation and things, and trying to point us in a certain direction that we're not even sure if that's the right direction. You're like, we don't know, and it just leaves a lot of, like you said, unanswered questions that we just can't possibly know at this point.
And through my experience with this, with actually losing someone to COVID, I will have to say this, and it's probably going to be an unpopular opinion, but regardless of what's going on,
we don't do unpopular opinions on this show.
Regardless of what's going on, whether you believe in getting vaccinated or not, the amount of information that is so skewed. 1 minute, politicians, Tony Fauci's telling us to do one thing, but then yet we see them doing something completely different.
Right.
So what happens is you tend to create your own chaos, meaning that the people that are supposed to follow, the health officials and providers and things like that don't really know what to do here. Because everything, we're told one thing 1 minute, we're told something else completely different the next minute, and it's so confusing that it's created this chaos where a large part of the population really are kind of left in limbo of not knowing what they should do. And this is where I tell people, you need to go and talk to your doctor. Your doctor. Don't listen to Tony Fauci. Don't listen to politicians. Go talk to your doctor and find out what you need to do.
Right.
What you feel comfortable doing. And
even get a second opinion. Like if you're not comfortable with what your doctor says,
Right.
and you're not sure, go get a second opinion. Hell, go get a third opinion if you want to. Just put your mind at ease. Like, that's the least you can ask for.
And it doesn't help when you have some people over here on one side of the spectrum. I'm not going to claim what political party, but when you have certain people on one side saying yes, get vaccinated, then you have other people on the other side saying no, don't get vaccinated. Think about this, think about that. So when you're hearing both sides, because I hear both sides because of the show we do,
right?
And it's a power struggle of what should I do is what it turns into, and that's something where a lot of us can become notorious of falling in that category of not knowing what to do, because we do hear so much from one side, then we hear so much from the other side, and then we're just like, okay, well, what do I do? So where is the silver lining in all of this? Like, where is it at? There is none. And a lot of people have issues with getting the shot because they feel like it's government control. They feel like putting something in their body is, that they don't know what's in it, if it's going to be effective or not. Yeah. I mean, there's just so many questions. I hear the argument that, well, you got shots when you were a kid. Well, statistically, a lot of these shots have been around for a long time. Yeah. So there's enough historical data to back, the long-term effects.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
With COVID, with this, with this shot, we don't have that historical data. We're learning it as we go. Now it might benefit people later on down the road because we have enough data to support, if it's going to be healthy for others, but we just don't know right now. And that's kind of where I'm at with it, dude. And what happened to Dennis was unfortunate, but it's a reality of the time we live in. Mm-hmm. And because you have two sides that can't seem to want to meet in the middle, nobody's on board. Everybody's not on board with what we should do here. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And
what really is messed up, in my opinion, is the amount of propaganda we're constantly being fed, right. And the amount that like Facebook and Twitter and all our media sources, everybody's trying to push us in one direction here. Mm. And there's so much credibility that's been lost with the media, with all these social media companies, and there's so much credibility that's lost that, say we do get a world-ending virus, like literally is like the worst thing you've ever seen ever, right?
Right.
What's it going to take for people to even believe that that's actually going on?
Well, when you've lost the trust in your government officials and your healthcare people, such as Tony Fauci, that's what you run into.
Yeah. Without your credibility, without your you need to have a track record of being honest with people. Yeah. Let them make their own decisions. Mm-hmm. Give them the facts and let them make their own decisions. Right. Because if you're caught even giving what they called Fauci's noble lie, like the fact that he was just lying to protect people from themselves, like even a little lie like that is hugely detrimental to your credibility.
Right. Yeah, it's just something that, if
like the story of Crying Wolf.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Yeah. And when you have more and more people waking up to what government's doing and how corrupted it is, you that's when you have an uprising of people that want to push back. Yeah. And if politicians, and we'll never see the day of anybody ever actually being honest or telling the truth, but if anything need to be changed, it's the way that our government officials that we elect into office are held accountable. Yeah. There needs to be accountability within our system among our people to make sure that these individuals are no longer in office. But then you kind of fall into that situation of, well, our election's rigged. And I'm not talking about presidential elections. I'm talking about from your mayor races to your governors to your senates, and I mean all the way down the list. And how do you trust anybody right now?
I don't know. I don't know.
What would that take? What would that look like?
There's no organization that I can think of right now, as far as the state's concerned, right, that has an incentive to be honest. In fact, quite the opposite. You have an incentive to keep lying to people. Even the pharmaceutical companies that are involved with this have no incentive to actually treat this. Mm-hmm. Their incentive is, oh, well, there's a new strain out. Let's go ahead and treat that. Oh, there's another new strain out. Let's treat that one. A third one? Okay, let's treat that one. Rather than treat, just a blanket. There's no incentive to create one big blanket cure for all of this.
Right.
Because then the money stops coming. There's just no reason for them to do it that way.
Yeah. I mean, if there's incentive, there's always going to be, money to...
just follow the money. That's literally the...
but at the cost of human life, that's the downfall of this. So, and of course, we've never been a show that preaches whether you should get vaccinated or not. It's not our place to do it. We will never tell you to do that.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
The show is designed to give you the ability to think for yourself and to take that from what you hear us discuss as just two guys that live a normal life as possible and the things that we go through. And then you hear our opinions. You take our opinions, you think about what your opinions are, and then you maybe draw your own conclusion to whatever it is that you feel is important for you and your family. I mean, I would love to see all my friends be healthy and safe and, nothing ever bad happen to them. But that's not reality. And as we go through this process of going through COVID and the way we've seen our political, elections tampered with or whatever the case might be, you have to step back to the 30,000 foot range here, and you have to use the optics of just what is life looking like right now? What do we need to do to change our abilities to the way we see our government, the way we see our healthcare, providers, the way we see our police and how they're policing, and our government officials and how, they're elected and the process and that whole exchange. It's a lot to take in, and you got to start one at a time, but you got to start somewhere. And you can only start in the place that matters the most, and it's within your own heart and in your own home.
Yeah, exactly.
It's what we tell people all the time. So I don't know, man. I really hate it for the lost, is what I call people that are not sure about what they want to do as far as getting vaccinated or not. My opinion to those individuals is talk to people, listen to people, and those that you trust. If you've been seeing your primary care doctor for a long time, then hopefully you have enough trust in him to listen to what he has to tell you and move forward. Or her.
Jesus. Yes. So Sean from the comments here, he says, I believe terms of surrender should be drafted and published for all government officials before hostilities ensue. Nobody wants violence. No. I wouldn't say nobody wants violence. I happen to know quite a few people that are just ready and raring to go because they just know some shit's about to go down. They've been preparing their whole life for this moment.
Sometimes violence... And I know this is not going to be a popular opinion. Sometimes it's needed. And unfortunately, that's if you go back historically and you look at our track record with violence.
You're just full of unpopular opinions today, aren't you?
I know.
What is wrong with you?
But there is some truth behind that, though.
Hey, smash that like button, guys, if you enjoy this particular topic. I would love to hear your all's thoughts on this. I mean, that's one of the things. Is violence the answer?
I don't think it's the answer, but I do think that it does bring stability back to...
It's an answer, whether it's the right one or not. It's an answer. I mean, let's not forget that it's at least on the table.
But we're a population that learns from our mistakes, hopefully.
No, we're not.
Well, in some certain
situations. We wait until shit gets real bad, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's what we've been trying.
But you have to remember, a lot of people don't have the cognitive ability to stop it before it gets to that point. That's kind of where we're at,
like about the time
so much could be avoided if we just relax, take a deep breath. Let's talk about this.
About the time you're getting shoved into the internment camp, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, that's what Anthony and Daniel were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we talked about, we were one of the first podcasters that were covering coronavirus before anybody else was. And we told people specifically to, stock up a little bit on put a little bit more food in your pantry than what you're used to, because we kind of thought long term.
Yeah.
Inflation.
Yeah. We're not looking at prepper levels here.
No. We're not doomsday preppers.
Be prepared. Like just a basic level of preparedness.
Now, the whole situation with the toilet paper, I didn't see that coming.
No.
But that was hysterical. But it's just, we're savages, man.
Yeah.
But we're savaging the wrong things, in my opinion. And in this sort of way. So it's like the things that we should be going after, we're not. And it's the most...
That whole toilet paper situation just completely wiped out all of the shelves.
No pun intended?
Actually, yeah. I was actually aiming at the pun specifically.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I was aiming for the pun.
No, I just... I thought it's interesting because I go back and look at those videos to say, did we talk about that? And we did.
Yeah, the worst part of the toilet paper situation was when I had to go to the store to ply that shit right out of their hand,
Yeah. I didn't see in the way the inflation is right now. I'm ignoring that. No, just seeing like where the inflation is right now and the conversations we've had a year ago when I go back and I actually kind of do my homework on our own show to see what we did discuss, so I
Yeah.
can, to see the relevance of what was discussed versus where we're at now. And it's kind of eerie, but it's also kind of a reminder of the show that we do, and it's not to freak people out, but it's to give people the ability to say, okay, well, these guys are talking about, putting a little bit more food in the pantry or doing this, that, and the other. Watch your spending. Don't do this. Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
We're not telling you for shits and giggles here. We're actually telling you because there's a long-term ripple effect that'll take place. You may not see it now. You may not see it for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, but it does play into fruition. So.
People are feeling it now. I mean, they're seeing it in the gas prices. They're seeing it in the cost of their food going up. They're seeing, it's just nonstop. Like,
yeah.
And I don't see any kind of end to this yet. And I feel like, honestly, the advice of, stock up. Get yourself prepared just in case.
Right.
Not you don't have to go build yourself an underground bunker.
No, we're not telling you to go out there and do all that.
Yeah, we're not like hardcore preppers here. We're
No.
just, basic saving for a rainy day. There's something to be said about that. When I hear stats like the average, what's it like? The average American can't even afford a $400 expense. Like, if your car breaks down and you need $400 to fix it, the average American can't afford that.
No, they have to put it on a line of credit.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
That's terrifying. That because there's some kind of a mindset thing missing there. There's some kind of part of like we want everything right now, just now, and we want to spend everything we have, and we don't want to hang on to our pennies. It's, just a few of them, just in case.
And it's funny because we talked about back when I was furloughed, and we were talking about the supply chain being disrupted for 2 weeks because a lot of the countries had shut their borders and all that, and we specifically discussed that if this were to happen for even so much as 2 weeks, the long-term effect of what it would have on our country, we wouldn't see it now, but we would at some point see the long-term effects of how it would disrupt the supply chain, and yet here we are. So, yeah, I mean, it's interesting how things have developed over the last year, and just kind of reminiscing of the conversations that we've had in years prior. So it's interesting.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I think last year, 2020, sorry, what year was that?
Which one?
What year are we in? Was it
2021?
Yeah,
it was 2020.
No, I guess it was 20.
Coronavirus.
God, have I been out of Nissan that long, since 2020?
Let's see. When I was furloughed back last May, no, that was April, May. No, it was May. It was May and June. Because I went out to Arizona that month.
I can't even remember how long I've been out, but it's
I want to say it was
crazy. Yeah,
2019. Has it been that long?
No,
I don't know, but
no, it's definitely not been that long. But yeah, Sean says the term "the Great Reset" is used. I have altered that term to be the Great Grasshopper Hunt. Americans were told that grasshoppers come in any color, but they needed to be driven to extinction. Every single device of issue has a different colored grasshopper as a mascot.
That's an interesting way
Different
of looking at
colored
it.
grasshopper as a mascot. This sounds like some kind of conspiratorial shit. I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know.
The Great Grasshopper Hunt? I don't know, man.
I'll have to look.
I'm going to need some more context on that. That's the first I've heard of that. Oh, speaking of upcoming, speaking of conspiracy theorists, I guess I have a interview with David Weiss.
Yes.
Coming up on the 9th.
And you guys need to check this out. I will not be a part of this event only because
your reaction to that was really weird.
I have taken on every interview that's ever come our way.
Regardless, yeah.
There has not been one person that I've turned down. There's been one person for you.
Yeah.
I have yet to have one person that I will not sit down and have a conversation with.
Now, for me was a pedophile. This is the guy I turned down. He was a pedophile wanting to come peddle his book on our show, and I was like, I'm not having that. No, that's not happening. I couldn't pull myself to do that, even though we said we'd interview everybody regardless of.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, there's even some kind of places where we draw lines, and I'm just that was a really interesting. I did not expect you to be like, no, bro, I'm out on this one.
So you approached me with doing this interview with this guy, and he's offering
3 Bitcoin.
3 Bitcoin.
Yes.
Okay, if you guys are familiar with cryptocurrency, and at which point you should be by now, 3 Bitcoin to change his mind as far as the Earth being round.
Yeah.
You have to give legitimate facts that the Earth is round.
Yeah.
And if you can convince him, if you can prove it and convince him that the Earth is round, not flat, that he'll pay you out 3 Bitcoin.
3 Bitcoin, right?
So, in my mind, a guy who already believes that the Earth is flat, he's not going to change his mind. You're not going to get 3 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at.
And that's
this.
without the financial incentive.
Right. That's without the financial incentive.
Now he has $150,000 on the lines to say, yeah, okay, you're going to convince.
If I'm putting $150,000 on the line, I'm so set in my way at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Into believing that the Earth is flat. You're not going to persuade me otherwise.
Yeah, there's
so
nothing.
I am not going to have that conversation with you.
Absolutely nothing.
I am not.
It's a waste of time.
No, I mean,
Right.
You set yourself up to where you're going to go into this interview and you're already dead set because you're not going to give up that 3 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I'm not stupid. I am not. I'm not going to sit here and babble for 1 hour or longer and try to convince you that the Earth is round.
Oh,
I'm not.
I'm prepared.
I've got better things to do with my life.
I am prepared, man.
I've got better things to do with my life that I could utilize that time
Here's
for.
the thing for me. Here's the thing for me. I already know I'm not going to convince him. I'm not going to change his mind. I'm probably not even going to bring up any point that he doesn't have an answer to. Right. The thing is, I've prepared a number of questions that I don't think anybody's asked him. So
Okay.
I'm going to try to take it from a different angle.
Well, good luck with that. Let me know how it turns out.
See, here's the thing. My goal is not to change his mind. My goal is to kind of, as it has always been with the show, is to find out why do people think what they think and how do they come to those conclusions? Like, what does critical thinking look like in different?
In a different way. Yeah, no, I understand that.
Because these people are not stupid people, right? I don't want to sit there and act like, well, if you believe the Earth is flat, you're just.
It's no different than those that
stupid.
believe the Earth is round.
What I'm always curious about is, okay, why is that the one you chose? Why did you?
How did you arrive at this?
How did you arrive at that conclusion?
Yeah.
And I don't want to discredit, or not discredit, but I don't want to demean anybody and act like they're stupid or they can't think, like, because clearly they're putting some thought into this. They're doing some research.
Yes, I understand.
So it's just really like, how is it even with all that research? Is that what you come to?
I actually sent you 2 memes. The other one I had was if the Earth was flat, cats would have knocked everything off of it by now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so. But have fun with that interview.
Yeah, I'm gonna have fun with it. I think it's gonna be a good conversation. I don't know about productive, but it'll be fun.
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's just the way about me that just when I hear that conversation come up, I will walk away from it. I want to keep whatever brain cells and IQ level I still maintain at this point still intact. So I will walk away from those conversations. Sorry.
Hey, that's understandable. You got to have your own personal boundaries.
You know what, though? If the guy believes that the Earth is flat, my only question to all this, why haven't we seen the other side of the Earth? If the Earth is actually flat, how come we haven't seen the other side? We have the technology to be able to do this.
Well, not if we're inside of a glass dome called the firmament.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, well, God created the firmament. I think it was on like the second day. The firmament is
We're not going to have this conversation.
the glass dome.
I understand.
Yeah. I mean, I've done enough studying. I could argue his side.
Okay.
I may even argue his side so convincingly that you'll start believing the Earth is flat.
No, I won't.
That's how confident.
That's impossible.
That's how confident I am in my research.
Well, you have fun with that there, buddy.
So...
No, honestly, it's a combination of several different things. Is why I won't be a part of that interview. But namely because I just, like I said, I don't want to fry my brain with that conversation. Yeah. But also during this time of the year, it's very, very busy for me. I'm working 6, if not 7 days.
You have
and then
been
12 hours.
working your ass off.
So I've got a lot going on right now in my personal life.
Yeah.
I'd rather not discuss, but
that's
just a lot going on.
Part of the reason we haven't really been discussing current events as much. Like, we would have been all over this Rittenhouse trial.
Oh, God, yes. I mean...
for example, we just been so covered up with holiday stuff, family.
It's just not been possible. And, you know, and a lot of the people that have been subscribing to us now and a lot of the fans that we have recently have gained don't really know much about us other than the music videos that we've reacted to. But we are both dads. You know, we have families. We work full time. So this whole YouTuber thing is not full time for us.
Yeah.
We get to it when we can, and we love doing it.
It's just not paying the bills, you know.
It's not paying the bills.
and it's not spending time with our kids.
No, it's not. And if honestly, if doing the YouTube thing paid what I make at my current job, yes, I would leave my other job, but that would have to require us having at least 1 million subscribers.
We're working on it. We're almost there. We're about to hit 3,000, and I think our goal was to hit. Our goal was to hit 3,000. A long way to 1 million there, buddy. Right. Our goal was to hit 3,000 by the end of the year.
We don't push the channel. We don't. We never have. And we share it. And if you guys enjoy it, that's great.
So here's the thing about the YouTube channel. I have a really hard time getting excited about the numbers going up because I know that YouTube. I know we're on borrowed time. I know that our points and our facts are not our points and facts. Our opinions, our ideas are counter to what is acceptable on YouTube.
Right.
And if we say the wrong thing, if we present the wrong opinion, we could get shut down just like that. And then all of that was for nothing. So if I'm looking at that number, like, yeah, it's cool. I'm glad you guys subscribe, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, we do.
But if you guys could do us a huge favor, go to our other platforms. You can find all of our
Follow us
links.
there.
You can find all of our links on our unframeofmind.com website. Follow us over there because at some point we're not going to be here anymore.
No.
And that $3,000 has meant, or that 3,000 subscriber number means nothing. And we've spent all this time building for nothing.
And it's not for nothing because I've built a lot of relationships with the people out of the comment sections that have added me to social media, whether it's been Facebook, Minds, or Instagram.
That's true. That's true.
That is the one thing I have enjoyed, and something that a lot of your bigger channels can't say. We do engage in the comment section quite often. I have become friends with a lot of people just from the comment sections. Right. And once I've become friends with them, just social media friends, they start to see a lot, they start to see and realize that I do have a life outside of this show. So it makes sense why we don't push it. Why, we do actually have a lot of other stuff going on.
Right on. So Sean says, I tried to talk about issues not using the modern parlance, not using meme speak or talking points may open up different perspectives. Yeah, I like that meme speak is now a term.
Yeah.
Meme speak. And honestly, memes are powerful, man.
They are.
Especially you get one that's just perfectly on point. You're like...
The Kyle Rittenhouse case was
there's a lot there's a lot of people, like, they will change their mind over a meme nowadays. Yeah. That's, like, can you imagine, like, back... 20 years ago,
process is swayed by a meme.
If I wanted to change somebody's mind, I'd be like, yeah, go check out this write up in the Encyclopedia Britannica or whatever. Go to your library and look up this and look up that and it's like, no, nowadays you just like, here's a picture with 6 words on it, and people are like, oh,
that's all you need.
Didn't see it that way. It's so weird.
Life has come to that point.
So
now.
Weird. Like even the things that change our mind don't require a lot of research anymore. Like nobody's doing all the research anymore. It's hard to do all the research.
Hey, just real quick. We haven't talked about this in a while. Cryptocurrency. Have you, I know you're big into crypto. I'm big into crypto. Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts on the market right now?
Oh, I don't even know what the market's at right now. I know it dropped a little bit. I don't pay attention.
What do you think about crypto.com?
I don't know enough about it either.
Changing the name of the Staples Center to crypto.com Arena.
Really?
They dropped $700 million on that 20-year deal.
Wow, I didn't know that.
They got a 1-year contract with the Montreal Canadiens up in the NHL League. They've also got ties to the Philadelphia 76ers in the NBA.
It's really cool.
Formula One
didn't know
over
that.
in Europe.
I didn't know that, but it is really cool seeing these things build up in popularity.
Yeah, and they just bought 2 financial exchanges over in Illinois, as a matter of fact, over in Chicago. So they are making their presence very well known here in the U.S. Now they're based out of Singapore, and then they also got a $100 million deal with Matt Damon to do their commercials. So, and then they also got a multi-year sponsorship.
Matt Damon
with the UFC. They just locked in a deal. Yeah, they just locked in a deal with the American Football Federation down in South America. A multi-deal with them as far as advertisement. Yeah, you're seeing it all over YouTube. You see the commercials. You're seeing the ads pop up on TV now during college football games. They are making an impact. That is the one thing cryptocurrency needed was adoption by the public. Coinbase went, they filed for their IPO and they went public on the exchange, but crypto.com is about to make a lot more noise than anybody else.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So I've been messing around with this crypto called Time.
I have not heard of that.
And there's a bunch of streamers and whatnot talking about how Time has these ridiculous APY.
Is it decentralized or what is it? Because I bought into Decentraland back when it was 21 cents, and it's over $4 a coin.
Damn, Decentraland.
Yeah.
I keep hearing about that one too.
It's a plot of land for gamers. if they wanted to be able to create content, you ought to check it out.
So,
go ahead.
Sorry, this here, it's app.wonderland.money.
Sure.
I haven't connected my wallet to this desktop computer, so you're not going to see my purchases. But I bought like $300 worth of time.
Right.
But the process was ridiculous. I learned a lot in this process because you can't buy it on Coinbase or anything like that. So,
what about Webull or
well,
KuCoin or
no, KuCoin neither. So what I had to do to buy this, and what they're claiming, like right now it's sitting at like 72,000
APY? Wow.
Yeah, APY.
Wow.
The way they've got from what I understand, the way they've got this code set up is, or
how is that even possible?
That's just it. The way they've got it set up is where the code is set to kind of slowly decrease that APY over time.
As
where
more people join?
It's meant as more people join, as time goes on, it's meant to create a lot of groundswell in the beginning, and then over time balance out. It's supposed to be a replacement for like Federal Reserve currency type thing, is what they're claiming.
Right.
And you're incentivized to stake your time.
Yeah, that's what
Now,
Crypto.com's doing.
This is
You got to stake so many coins in order to earn benefits such as free Netflix, free Spotify. You get a annual
Right.
APR on that as well.
So
I think it's
staking is
like
not a
10%.
new concept at all,
No,
but
no.
for you to be able to stake and earn 72,000 APY, and when I joined on, it was like they were claiming like 98,000% APY. I'm like, what?
I
I'm
think
like,
BlockFi only offers like 8%.
yeah, I'm like, okay, I'll, $300, that's no big deal. I'll give it a shot and see what's going on with it. Why not? And I have earned about 10% over the last week. So I've
Okay.
earned $30 for this week, which is, that's cool.
I'm gonna check
It's
in
fun
a
to play
year from now.
Yeah, it's fun to play with, but here's the thing. I had to basically, if you're at home and you want to purchase some time, this is the path that my money went. It hit my bank account. My bank account went to Cash App. My Cash App was used to buy Bitcoin. My Bitcoin was then going over to KuCoin, where KuCoin on the KuCoin app is where I do most of my trading.
Yeah.
KuCoin, then I had to purchase AVEX. Which is
I know AVEX,
so I had
yeah.
to take my AVEX and then transfer it over to my MetaMask wallet, which
I've got MetaMask.
okay.
Yeah.
So I had to transfer it over
That's
to
Ethereum based.
Ethereum based.
Yeah.
It's an ERC20 token, and
Right.
it's all based on Ethereum blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to take AVEX, transfer it over to my MetaMask wallet,
Why
and then
did you have to transfer it so many times?
it was just that was my path to get to it.
Wow.
It was
They need
not
to cut that out.
well. They got to get on more exchanges, is what it is.
Well, yeah.
So and
Adoption is
and
key,
here's
but-
the thing: I don't like to use exchanges that require a KYC.
Why?
Know your customer process because they're required to report your shit to the U.S. government if the U.S. government asks. KuCoin is overseas. It's off.
Okay, yeah.
It's a decentralized platform overseas. It's not tied to the U.S. There's no KYC process. I never had to put in my name and information into KuCoin.
It's weird because Crypto.com is,
Yeah,
but they're
And so is Coinbase.
they're out of Singapore.
yeah. So they've got slightly different laws and stuff, but
Yeah.
in order to operate in the U.S. legally, you need to have Anthony. This motherfucker just shit himself right across from me.
My stomach's been like acting up,
Dude, you had some good shit, man.
Anyways,
So I had to take my AVEX and convert it over. I had to purchase time with it. And then you take the time and you move it, and then you use the time. You connect this app right here to your MetaMask wallet, and it will convert it over to Memo.
how
which
many
is,
wallets do you have now? I've got like 7 or 8.
most of what happens within your MetaMask wallet.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
most of what happens there. But it was just a matter of getting it over to it. It was like, okay, this is more of a pain in the ass than most people are going to do. But it was more like a journey for me trying to figure out how to do this. And what took the longest was the conversion from AVEX to time, because it was on the Ethereum blockchain. Gas fees are really high. The
Always.
fees, and it took like 4 days for my transaction to go through.
Holy shit!
Yeah, and I'm just like, I was thinking I did something wrong.
Wow.
So
You're
when
probably getting nervous about
when
that.
your money's sitting out there for 4 days not
be
doing nothing,
verified.
and then all of a sudden it pops up, you're like, oh, okay, good. Like,
What is the blockchain that it's on?
I don't know. Like, what do you mean? It's all Ethereum.
Oh,
far
okay,
as I
okay,
know.
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, ERC20. So, yes, it was a long journey. Yes, it's making a little bit of money. No, this is not investment advice, but it was just kind of interesting to see where we're at now in terms of some of these newer technologies versus a year from now, like where are we going to be? Like how hard is it going to be when the average Joe who doesn't understand any of this can just go, yeah, I'll purchase some time and save my money there.
That's kind of what crypto.com is, but they offer theirs through a actual like credit card. You got to stake so many before you can get certain level cards, and then after that there's so many benefits and rewards that you earn. Now BlockFi, I hold a lot of money over on BlockFi, and I strictly hold a lot of my crypto just for the simple fact of earning interest. Nothing more than that. That's it. So I've got regular USD over there just sitting there collecting interest because that's 8%.
Yeah,
that's more than any bank will ever offer you.
Well, hell, back when I was working with Airwire, their token was called Wire, and if you had 35,000 Wire, you could put it on a masternode and stake the masternode and earn money on that for validating the system. It was
right.
Whereas Bitcoin is a proof of work, Airwire was a proof of stake. However, they're now transitioning to a new type of blockchain, I guess, and they're working on making that transition. So I don't know. My Wire holdings right now are kind of in the air, so I don't know.
Well, it sounds like they're on their own trading platform.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
so their own blockchain.
Airwire.io is where, and they're working on heading into the NFT space, making it super easy for people to create NFTs. And I hope
sounds like the same concept as Crypto.com. Because they've got their NFT platform going. They've got a lot of stuff going right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And they're fixing to do bonds and dividends, I believe it or not, here soon.
Yeah, and I apologize if we're boring the shit out of you, to be honest.
This was a conversation that used to bore me.
This stuff was boring Anthony a year ago when I was trying to do each time we had an episode, I was trying to do that. Remember that segment, what's the new, ICO of the day or whatever.
New crypto, yeah.
Yeah, and Anthony's just like rolling his eyes. But there's one that I still want to see happen. This project, and I don't even care about sports, but I would be interested in this. And I don't know if you remember me talking about this. I can't even remember what the name of it is right now, but the concept still stuck in my mind. The concept was this. You have a bunch of people that can purchase, play in the blockchain. They can purchase tokens and earn a certain amount. Basically, let me see, how do I explain this?
I think I remember what you're talking about.
The idea was that the team itself, the sports team, let's say it's an NFL team, depending on how much of the crypto you held and how much you staked, you could have a certain percentage vote. Like that would weigh your vote.
Call the game is what you were talking about.
So basically, like live during a game, people could actually play along and choose plays, almost like a video game. And
I would never adapt,
the amount of people that could just, okay, well, we want to do this play, and then like you all put in your vote, and then like however many people voted versus, and of course, however much you staked would increase the weight of your vote.
Right.
You could actually control what play that team made, and if the team won or lost would determine how much money you win or lose, or how it was.
There's so many loopholes to that, though.
It was a cool concept, and I really think they could work with it. And and even if it's not live during the game itself, like people could have a say in picking the team, like
maybe the players.
What players are going to be on our team.
I can see them doing that for a roster, saying like maybe a starting lineup, or maybe like a NBA All-Star game or NHL All-Star game or something to that degree. But as far as actually calling the plays, no, I don't really particularly see that happening, to be honest with you. But
to be fair, I'm doing a terrible job explaining it.
I know you are.
But the concept itself was pretty solid. Yeah. Like if you consider it's all based on blockchain.
Yeah.
And oh my God, there's so much stuff coming up. Like people
you can do a lot of stuff.
People don't even fucking know how our world is about to change.
I know.
And the fact that Hillary Clinton recently come out talking about how crypto is going to destroy like the power of currencies and things like that. And
well,
like,
people are starting
she ain't
to.
Stupid.
I know. I mean, it's just people are starting to wake up to the fact that you're not making any money by holding your money, regular USD into banks. I mean, you can make money just by holding it like I am in BlockFi. I've got a substantial amount of money just collecting interest,
just sitting
doing
there,
nothing,
sitting there holding coins in KuCoin, which is their platform's token of exchange. just by holding those, I've made like $130 in the last year off of that. And I don't have a lot.
Right.
But in my savings account, like when they send you a statement that says, "Oh, you earned 1 penny on your holdings," I'm like,
yeah, time to move it.
like, listen, y'all, if you need that penny that bad, you're welcome to hold that penny.
Yeah.
I don't need it. You go ahead.
It's just, I think part of the reasons why it's so hard for people to adapt right now because it's new technology. Usually new technology takes a while for people to get used to it,
Yeah.
So sports betting.
Yeah, I don't even remember what it's called. I'm going to try to figure out, but you go ahead.
No, I do need to wrap it up because it's already 2:30 and I need to kind of get back.
Okay, well,
So,
sounds good. It was fun doing this little impromptu
yeah.
episode for
Kind of a
sure.
little quick update, doing something a little live, chit-chatting with a few people.
Yeah, it's been a while. Thanks you all for joining. Make sure you
Yeah.
hit that like button, and we'd like to do some more of these. We may at some point, if our channel continues to grow, we'll start doing these regularly again, so that you
until
guys kind of know when to subscribe or when to tune in. But
Right.
until then, they may just come random, and we'll just keep doing what we do. We got a few ideas coming up, few episodes coming up. So listen, you guys been watching the Unframe of Mind show, where we have uncomfortable conversations without a condom, where we have those highbrow ideas and lowbrow packaging.
Absolutely.
And Anthony shits himself in my studio.
Yeah, you do too.
Bastard.
Bye.
Bye.